It's always a few minutes before I get everything set up or what have you. But welcome to this particular segment. Yet again, we are here with Each One Teach One. And this is an amazing segment that I want to bring to your attention. It's very unfortunate that we even have to have a segment such as this, but it was brought to my attention because, and I'm going to share with you what happened to me. One of the things that I truly just wish we didn't have to deal with as women is a confrontation of jealousy, where one woman is jealous of another woman and doesn't want to talk to her. You never even laid eyes on her before, but you just can't stand the ground she walks on. You don't even know her for that matter. But this does exist, and it's very unfortunate. And I always hear people say stuff like, oh, it's because of the culture, it's because of this, it's because of that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Because this is how I look at it. Everybody has a choice that they can make up and decide on how they're going to handle themselves, let alone how they're going to respect somebody else or be, nice to someone, be approachable or whatever. And I can tell you unequivocally in so many times that I have been doing my job as an Uber driver now for 7 years. And I use this as an example because basically this is where I meet the public a lot. And in meeting the public a lot and having different people in my Uber, white, black, male, female, different countries, different ethnicities, whatever. I have everybody is so awesome and wonderful for the most part. But anytime I have any contention or a contrast with an individual in the Uber, it's always with a female, and she's African American. And it's very, very, very unfortunate to me because years and years and years of my life, I would have people be mean to me. And I'm just a nice person, just generally, because that's what my mom taught me. Okay. And because my mom taught me how to be a loving and kind individual, I don't know anything else. Plus we were raised as Christians. And so basically, everything that I did, I put the Bible first. I never knew anything about being angry or mad at somebody because I felt like they owed me something or that I needed to get reciprocity back or something like that. I just never understood that concept, and I still don't today. Even with men that I have liked and I have really, really just maybe head over heels for, and then to find out that they've done something criminal or illegal, or that they are doing stuff because they think somebody owes them something and they're angry because they never dealt with something that they've had as a child that they should have, that's causing them to do stuff as an adult. It's all basically right, as Ikram said, down to how you're raised. And it's so unfortunate. But I just like, I look at people, I hear people say, oh, you light-skinned bitches, or you think you cute because you got them colored eyes, or you think you this or you think you that. And I'm thinking to myself, who thinks like that? Because if it's somebody thinking like that, how would you know that they're thinking like that? Because they may not exhibit any type of behavior that will let you know that. And if they was, no, let me say this. If I was thinking like that, then I wouldn't let you know that I was thinking like that. Because for me to think like that would be for me, not for you. I could care less what you think about me if that's how you gonna think about me. Okay? And when you're browner skin or whatever, what makes you think that I don't think that your brown skin is beautiful and that I don't think that you should be proud of your brown skin? Nowadays, people can say, yeah, I'm proud of it and I'm this and I'm that. But no, some women have an issue with themselves. So because they have that issue with themselves, they treat other people very nasty. And I just pray for them that they learn how to get that confidence for themselves and try to rectify that. But with all that being said, it just isn't in the black community. It's in the white community. If you have brunette hair instead of blonde hair, or if you have blonde hair instead of brunette hair, if you have brown eyes instead of blue eyes, green eyes instead of, it's stupid. It is so stupid. It's just like racism. All that mess is crazy. But what I will bring to the forefront is that, as women, okay, there's not one reason on God's green earth why any of us should be ungrateful about the person that you are. Whether you're male, female, whatever. It's just ridiculous. Because all of us are made in the likeness of God and his son, but we're human. A lot of people are atheists and they don't believe in what I'm saying. And this isn't necessarily to talk about, what your Christian belief is, because this is not what we're talking about. Basically what we're talking about today is you being proud of the individual that you are. Be happy for who you are and what you've been given as the person that you are, from whatever part of whatever you take from your parents, from your culture. It is amazing to me that, we have this effects on many women today, and there's insecurities between women and why they exist. We today want to explore whether these insecurities cross over into racial barriers, or if they stem primarily from relationship issues due to men. What is going on? Let's just jump right into it. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I'm DeanaMarie. This is DeanaMarie Live for those of you that have not watched our podcast before. And I am your host. And a couple of things that I want to bring up is that, sociologists have been shedding light on the insecurities and the intersectionalities of these insecurities between women for years. It's crucial just basically now just for us to understand that the experience of women can be shaped by both gender and racial factors, as well as contribute to the complex web of insecurities. It's just a lot of insecurities. And some of these insecurities come from different factors, right? So when we talk about relationship issues, and we can certainly say that insecurities definitely are contributed to relationship issues, without doubt, between women, between men and women. And it's essential just to avoid the generalization of it, because the insecurities can arise from various sources, with as a past experience, individual vulnerabilities, or dynamics with specific relationships. But it's so important not to just oversimplify these insecurities also, because they could be attributed to solely the fact that men are romantic. They can be attributed solely to, they cannot necessarily be attributed solely to men or romantic relationships, but how someone is affected by them. Okay. And so with that, it's crucial just to acknowledge that the insecurities do exist. And unfortunately, they're multifaceted in the origin in which they do. But we cannot be reduced to a single factor. Okay. So understanding as we need to that we're addressing these insecurities, it requires a comprehensive approach that we need to use to consider the individual's experience and the systematic influences that they play. And most of them, like we have talked about, can basically be in a relationship. Sometimes a guy will tell you one thing and he may act a different way, or whatever your relationship is your significant other and make you feel uncomfortable. Many people believe that's why the lesbian community has grown so populous, because women understand women and men understand men. So you talk about the ratio of the LGBTQ community plus A plus community, because these same sex relationships understand each other better. So that's why they go to those relationships. But regardless of what is happening, when we talk about the knowledge that we need to have about these relationships, one of the things that we need to bring to the forefront is, you've got to see the beauty in your partner, like Ikram says. If you are a gold digger, or you see something in somebody and you want them for this, that, and the third, you can bet your bottom dollar, no pun intended, that relationship's not going to end up in the right way. Because here you are out there trying to gain something from someone only from a superficial means, and you think it's okay. And there are desperate people who basically want to be loved and give their love, who do have money or means or what have you. So they're willing to pay for it, for whatever you give them. But it's not going to last. It's not going to make you happy. It only makes you happy in the moment. And it's very unfortunate. So then you have other females out there. They did a study a long time ago in the African American race and culture, as they've always done, because it's always been this study of complexions, darker versus lighter, and it's always made into something that it shouldn't be. And in different countries, it's more socialism, so they don't really have an issue against the color of their skin, but maybe somebody's taller or shorter, or maybe they're richer or poorer, or they live in a better house or whatever. So there's always something that creates this barrier. But in women, we all share one thing that's in common, and that is that we birth children. We bring them into this world, and we have the ability to shed light on how they are taught from birth, so that these insecurities don't continue to grow and birth into something more and something bigger than what they are. As a mother, you would think that you are giving this constant love and attention to your child that needs it, so that they can understand what it is that you need them to have as they start to grow and start to have an impression on themselves and others and in life. But for the most part, when we talk about these insecurities between women, it's important just to remember that we are unified. You understand? And we need to support and be empathetic, because these are powerful tools that we have in our toolbox to combine these combating these insecurities. So if we're fostering healthy relationships and challenging societal expectations, and we're not, being in a area of place or time where we're promoting this type of inclusivity, then we're not going to bring on these negative thoughts and processes because you're browner than me, or I'm lighter than you, or my eyes are one color and your eyes are another color, giving empowerment to those stupid environmental issues that women have been combating for many, many years. Okay? In order for women to thrive together, regardless of what their race or relationship status is, we have got to make sure that we let go of these dogmas and these stigmas and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because we're only shedding light and fire and gaslighting the issue. It's ridiculous. It is important that we understand where we are in relationships. You see the red flags, you see them before they even happen. But your ability to grow and to mature into someone who is going to help themselves to understand these unfortunate things that kind of kill our character, we have to look at it from a different perspective. I had a girl yesterday that got into my Uber, and I thought the world of her because she came to some conclusions on her own. And one of them was that she felt, well, she was taught that her, you know, her mother believed that men always cheat, and because men always cheat, it's okay. That's what we have to deal with, so on and so forth. And I was listening to her. You know, I didn't lend an opinion one way or another, but as she continued to communicate things to me, she also then said, but as she's grown older, now she's 20, but she started dating her boyfriend, I think 6 years prior. So they were young. And of course, during this time, she's grown so much. And I commended her on how she had become and overcame some of those challenges that she had as her younger self. And one of the stigmas was that she was supposed to grow in immunity to this her boyfriend cheating. And so, you know, had she allowed herself to have this immunity, just imagine she would have grown into this individual later in life who would have allowed that, who would have had insecurities, who would have hated on other females because they looked better, or maybe they carried themselves in a better way, or maybe you look at them in a light that looks from your perspective of, wow, she really has herself together. I can't stand her. You know, you don't even have a reason to not like someone. You just don't like them because they're confident and they're secure in who they are. But when you start embarking on relationships, whether it's, you know, same-sex marriage, same-sex relationship or not, or in a heterosexual relationship, biracial relationship, whatever you choose, you have got to go into that relationship with the confidence that you are the individual that you are happy to be, and that you're willing to help each other grow into each other's understanding of what you need and what you want. Because I say this all the time to females, younger females, you are responsible for teaching someone how to treat you. And what I was going to start off the beginning of the show with was about my scenarios. And I underwent a lot of negative and hurtful stereotypes that I would deal with in my workplace. And for years, I could not understand or figure out how to overcome those negative stereotypes, because I believe that anytime you go into a situation and you already have a preconceived notion of negativity, then guess what you're going to breed into that situation? Negativity. Absolutely. 110% correct. So if you go in thinking, oh my God, I know they're not going to like me, and they're going to think I'm this, and they're going to think I'm that, and blah, 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 blah. When really, as I've said before, you got people calibrating you to where they want you to be. So maybe this person looks different than you. Maybe their shades different than you. Maybe they have different hair than you. Maybe they have different whatever than you. And they're already insecure about who they are. But they've never admitted it to themselves. They just know how to make you feel bad about you. And so when you go into situations like that, be cognizant of what people are doing around you. But most importantly, go into things in a positive frame of mind, knowing that you can conquer anything and that you can do this. You got this. And no matter what or who likes or doesn't like it, they're not the person that you have to prove anything to. And lastly, leaving with this, I'll never forget, it hurt me to the core. My son played in sports a lot in high school. And I'll never forget one of the parents. It was the mother of one of the parents that he played on the team with. And she came to me and she asked me if I was messing with her husband. And so just like today, I take that as a great offense and a lack of intelligence on my behalf. And it's a belittling and hurtful criteria for you to place on me to believe or ever think in 1,000,001 years that I will want your husband. And I made a post earlier this week and I said, you know, far be it from me to want anybody's sloppy seconds. Now, I'm not calling anybody's husband or man or woman or whatever sloppy or seconds, but they would be to me. And I don't want that. I don't want anyone's husband That's the reason why to this day, you don't see me in a relationship yet. Because the man for me has not come for me. And I don't need sex. I don't need to be taken out to dinner, wine and dine, none of that. Trust and believe me, I don't need it. It's not something that runs me. What runs me is money. That's why you always see and hear me talking about making it. That's where you see me doing. And if somebody that comes into my life can't contribute something that's on a transparent level, and that means, transparency means he won't be married, he won't be cheating, he won't be anybody that's doing something that's disrespectful to the woman or wife that they currently have. You think I want him? Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't want it. And wouldn't even think about it. I'm not going to slip and fall. None of that. I don't even believe that you can be drunk and forget what you did, because you can't get me drunk enough to make sure that I don't know what I did. Because when I go into a situation, I'm going into it with a mind that lets you know, that lets me know that I know what the hell I'm doing, and it won't be sleeping with anybody's mate, period. I don't want anything that isn't mine, period. Not even a hairstyle. That's the reason why I do everything different. And it was so unfortunate when she asked me that, but come to find out, what had happened was I had apparently put a picture on Facebook or MySpace or something, because it was that long ago. And it was, I had a crop top on, but the picture I put on there showed you the color. It was a peach color crop top, so it didn't have sleeves, but he had cropped it out and only shown my shoulders. So basically, she caught him masturbating, unfortunately, to my picture. And this is a grown and sexy show, so get over it. I'm letting y'all know what's up. And I was like, ew. But not only that, he would not have been the type of husband I would have wanted. Aesthetically, he didn't look like the type of man that I would have chosen. And moreover, therefore, and thus, I daggone sure wouldn't be giving him a picture off the internet to utilize if that was what he was going to do with it. Period. And it just I can't even get the words out for anybody to think that I would want their husband. Are you kidding me? Your husband has issues if he did that with my picture. If you caught him saying my name, doing anything, and it ain't just me, it's other people, and there's those websites and pages and stuff like that. And people like to blame shit on people too that don't have husbands. When my son was playing sports, I got blamed for all kind of stuff just because I wasn't the only one, because I was the only one that wasn't married. Forget y'all. I don't need your husband. I don't need your excuses. If you got a question, concern, anything, ask me, honey. I'll tell you. And the people that know me well. But the people that want to play games and think that I would do something like that, you might not be my friend anyway. But I wish you well. And I do believe that this wraps up our segment of women and their insecurities. And I hope and pray that as you address your insecurities, that you require some type of comprehensive approach that considers yourself the individual who will experience this systematic influence and how it plays on your emotions, and play it to the point where you know how much confidence you have for yourself. Okay? And that's all I'm guilty of, is confidence. Love you guys. See you on the next segment. Rep Your City, where we talk about the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro. My first place on my list of places to stamp on my passport. Be right back, guys. Thanks for joining me.